Good evening and thank you for joining us for the news at 6. I'm Rebecca Burnett. We're going to start in Maryland, where a man is recovering at the Frederick Health Hospital after a police chase that crossed over 2 states. It's not clear why the pursuit started, but deputies with the Jefferson County, West Virginia Sheriff's Office were pursuing the driver and called in backup from the Frederick, Maryland barrack. The speed chase lasted several hours until police cornered him. He's in custody and facing multiple assault charges. And overdoses are spiking in Frederick County, Virginia, and the sheriff's office says it could be because the local drug supply is tainted. Deputies responded to 6 drug overdoses Friday night. 3 of them happened in the same 2-hour window. Emergency services were able to administer Narcan to reverse the side effects of the drug, but officials are warning of a possible bad batch of heroin or other substances that could cause more overdoses within the area. The sheriff's office is asking community members to tell any friends or family that struggle with addiction about the drugs. And the Manassas City Police Department has released the name and description of the man wanted in connection to Thursday's deadly shooting. A refresher for you, at around 10 o'clock Thursday night, the police department recovered 2 men who were shot on Bruton Parish Court. Both victims were transported to the hospital, where one of the victims died. The suspect is still at large. 31-year-old Christopher Buckner is wanted for murder, aggravated malicious wounding, and 2 charges of the use of a firearm and commission of a felony. Police say he's 5 foot 9 inches tall, about 250 pounds, with brown eyes. He's considered dangerous, and if you see him, do not approach or engage. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to contact MCPD at 703-257-8000. And a Romney man wanted in the stabbing at a West Virginia home is behind bars. Wes Allen Barrett is being held on a $100,000 bond at the Potomac Highlands Regional Jail, according to the Hampshire County Sheriffs. He's charged with attempted murder at a residence near the corner of Purgattsville Pike and Fleming Road. The victim sustained stab wounds to the chest and arm, but is expected to recover. Also taken into custody at the time of the arrest was John Allen Barrett on an order from the Hampshire County Drug Court. And in May, Prince William County Superintendent Stephen Waltz was sued for tweeting a video making defamatory statements against former school board chairman Ryan Sawyers. Waltz is also facing a defamation of character lawsuit in addition to his Twitter account investigation. Now, Sawyers also filed a separate lawsuit against the school division, asking for the release of Waltz's direct Twitter messages with thousands of Prince William County students. Waltz has denied his messages were inappropriate, and this week, the Prince William County School Board permitted Waltz to be represented by an attorney funded by the school division's legal insurance, and issued a statement that said, in part, "We will now take the information we received and review it with the appropriate administration officials, including the superintendent." WDVM reached out to Waltz for comment and did not hear back. Ideas clashed this morning in front of the Frederick County Sheriff's Office when counter-protesters attended the We Back Blue rally. The event featured various speakers calling for greater support for police, but meanwhile, counter-protesters held signs and called for police reform and social justice. Former congressional candidate Tim Fazenbaker said change can only occur by working together with police, and the director of Frederick United said backing the blue is a distraction from the real problems.
But this is not a situation where people are oppressed. This is more of a projection where you feel certain ways and you're going to project that onto the police community or to America. We want everybody to be Americans. That's why we must identify as Americans first before we get into our own different cultures and communities.
A lot of the people on this side are not against the police department. I know for myself, I'm not against police. So it's not about being against that, but understanding that when they take off that uniform, they are black, brown, whatever color they might be, whatever race, and so they still have to handle those situations as well. And so that is where our focus and our concern is, not protecting a uniform and a badge.
And in Virginia, Fairfax County's NAACP president is running for lieutenant governor of Virginia. Sean Perryman, NAACP president for Fairfax County, made the announcement this week that he will be running for lieutenant governor. Perryman says he made the decision due to the COVID-19 pandemic and economic crisis caused by it. Perryman has helped fund 30 minority-owned businesses, but he says he realized he needed a higher platform to help people in need after seeing Fairfax residents struggle through these difficult times. And also in Fairfax, the Fairfax County Domestic Violence Network is equipping community members and aiding survivors during COVID-19 through online sessions. The trainings are usually held in person. The 16-hour orientation training is a county program. The course is designed to teach participants how to recognize domestic violence and how to go about reporting it. The organization is always in need of volunteers. If you are interested in getting involved or signing up for a session, head to the Nova News section of our website at localdvm.com.
Presenters have been super open and flexible and willing to adapt, and participants have been really wonderful about, coming and being present and participating and giving of their time, even though we're all at a distance.
And if you are a victim of domestic violence and need immediate help, call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. And the Montgomery County Council will soon weigh in on a new bill that was introduced this week to prohibit criminal background checks on job applicants until after a job offer has been made. The bill expands the scope of the Ban the Box law already in place within the county, prohibiting businesses with more than 15 employees from asking about an applicant's criminal record. Councilmember Will Jawando sponsored the bill and says the expansion would now apply to the businesses with fewer than 15 employees, which make up more than 70% of county businesses. And Volunteer Fairfax recently launched what they're calling the Good Connects Us campaign. They developed this campaign in hopes of inspiring community members to do small acts of kindness, such as paying for the car behind you in the drive-through line, bringing flowers to your elderly neighbor, and sewing masks. There are just a few ways to give back. Volunteer Fairfax is keeping track of the random acts of kindness on their website.
We wanted to help people identify ways of serving and giving that isn't a specific in-person opportunity, that highlights the little things that we all do every day in our lives.
And Ms. Lakabaya says they want to highlight the different things people can do to help each other. The campaign will continue for the next 2 months. And millions of residents of the Bahamas and Florida are preparing for the arrival of Hurricane Isaias. The storm is expected to move over the Bahamas Saturday en route to the east coast of Florida through Sunday. The Bahamas and Florida are facing storms on 2 fronts. Both destinations are also battling a sharp rise in coronavirus cases. The Category 1 storm is expected to dump about a foot of rain on the area. CNN meteorologist Tyler Maudlin has the latest updates from that area before our own Derek Bowen has a local look. Maryland Governor Larry Hogan says schools should be allowed to decide whether to open or stay closed this fall. Montgomery County Health Officer Dr. Travis Gales has directed non-public schools to remain closed through October 1st. This order defines non-public schools as private pay schools, schools affiliated with religious institutions, or schools that are otherwise considered to be independent schools. Today, Hogan tweeted that, quote, "This is a decision for schools and parents, not politicians." The order will be reportedly reevaluated before October 1st to determine if it should be extended, terminated, or changed in any way. And many public schools are not opening their doors this fall, and many parents are transitioning to homeschooling. WDVM's Nordea Lewis and community members have some guidance for parents who might not know what to expect. And while you're supporting your children as they learn from home, don't forget to take care of yourself. Parents Nordea spoke with suggest joining a homeschooling support group to make that transition easier. And the new school year has already begun for some students, but millions more will head back to the classroom in the coming weeks. For many, that classroom will be virtually in their own homes. But how will schools keep the kids who do return to campus safe? Sheldon Ingram takes a look at a robot designed to help custodians save on disinfecting time so schools can help prevent the spread of COVID-19. Maryland is expanding its order requiring masks in public places. The new mandate took effect last night. This comes after Maryland reported the highest number of hospitalizations in over a month. Now all Marylanders must wear a mask or face covering in public areas of businesses and buildings and in outdoor public areas when it is not possible to maintain social distancing. The governor defines a face covering as one that fully covers a person's mouth and nose and is secure to the person's head, but it does not have to be a medical grade mask. Officials say it's important in order to slow the spread.
Understand that we're not trying to be the boogeyman or bad police to come in and to shut things down, but there are practices that we have to adhere to. And if nothing else, even with the governor's announcement yesterday, we are in a situation right now where the numbers are not on our side.
And Maryland is pausing the governor's roadmap to recovery, staying in phase 2 for the time being. And with Maryland's new mask mandate in place, you may have to learn how to incorporate a mask into certain routines, like working out. Several jurisdictions are now requiring masks be worn at all indoor facilities, including gyms. So some gyms, like Planet Fitness, are now requiring members and guests to wear a mask at all times while inside. Trainers say it's important to learn tips on how to adjust to workouts while wearing a mask. Now, Russia says the latest round of clinical trials of its coronavirus vaccine is now complete. According to Russian state media agency TASS, the Russian health minister announced earlier today the registration of the drug is underway. He says the use of the vaccine developed by the Moscow-based Galileo Institute will begin right after receiving the registration certificate. Russian officials have told CNN they are working towards a date of August 10th or earlier for approval of the vaccine. Russia has released no scientific data on its vaccine testing so far, but Russian officials say they will make their scientific data available for peer review and publication in early August. And stay with us for this birthday celebration of the decade, or 2 or 3.